Right. Let's hope Debenhams is among them.
Let's hope so. I have my doubts. I wonder what Kate Hardcastle, retail analyst, has to say. Good afternoon, Kate.
Hi, Matthew.
It's not looking good for Debenhams, is it?
No, but there are more layers to the problem than perhaps first thought.
Go on.
It's not just a case that it's online shopping versus traditional high street shopping, because we've had brands like Primark and Zara that have come to prominence. Just a reminder for everyone listening, Primark are not online yet. They are not an online store. And so we know that traditional high street can work. It is not simply a case that it's a department store model, because although John Lewis have got a few niggles, they are a successful traditional department store model. And at the top end, Selfridges work very well, thank you very much. And you could even class Primark as a discount department store. Yeah. And it's not just a case of rent and rates, because everyone else has got those headaches and heartaches who are on the high street as well. So
on that point, I mean, all my restaurateur friends say that the business rates are killing them.
Absolutely.
I'm just talking mainly about smaller independent traders as well. I get the same message from them.
And you won't find a stronger campaigner for it than me, because I am passionate about not just our retail and our community and the offering that needs to be there, but actually independents and how much support they need, because they add so much to our communities. A lot of independent people, independent retailers, run those businesses as a lifestyle. There's no huge profits in it for them. They're doing it because they know it enhances the place that they live. And that money spent in those actually stays within the community.
So
the point I'm making...
Go on. I was going to say, if you would give me just one moment, if you could take us as a retail expert through the doors of a typical Debenhams store, because I think I know where you might be going with this if we actually start talking about the products that are sold therein. Take us from where do you think they might be going wrong in store?
Yeah. Of course. So first of all, we're going to open the doors to any Debenhams, and I know there will be a ground floor offering of health and beauty products. Yep. Beauty is really important to the traditional department store. In Debenhams, we know that's 25% of the mix. But we know there's been a huge increase in the makeup sector over the last 18 to 24 months, driven highly through social media, Instagram, and online brands, such as international brands, becoming more accessible. This means that whilst Debenhams will have footfall driven to the bottom floor, they've done well with a loyalty scheme with their Beauty Rewards loyalty. Unfortunately, the marketplace has just become saturated with other offers, new brands, and they're not fast enough a pace to keep track of that. So it's important to them. It's probably going to be their most successful asset in terms of departments, but is it enough with the competition that's out there? Then we're going to have a store that's probably been underinvested within, because a lot of these traditional department stores, they're big, they cost a lot of money to run, and whilst ever they've got the challenge of online and other brands, they're going to have to try and pull the visitors they've got from beauty downstairs, probably into menswear, upstairs into home and luggage, with maybe a cafe or a restaurant offer there in between. So we know that their plan, and I've seen their concept store, which is in Stevenage, is very much about many more restaurants and cafes in there, more health and beauty services, so there's more reasons to visit. There's a big challenge with that. And that's that everyone else has got the same plan. Everyone else in the middle market has got exactly the same plan.
Do you believe closing stores, I mean, it's around just under a quarter of stores, isn't it, I think, roughly speaking, getting rid of that stuff. Is that going to make any difference? Because I'm reading between the lines of what you just said, and I'm thinking, although it seems maybe perhaps counterintuitive at this time, but actually investment in the stores might pay off.
Right, so I've had this debate with the team. I know the team there. I'm very respectful to some of them. Yeah. I think it's absolutely understandable that if you have a business that's bleeding, you need to stop the bleed and you need to cut costs. And I know that's going to be really hard for the people who are so hard working in retail. It's one of the most physical jobs that you can have in terms of, working on a shop floor, walking the yards, dealing with the customers within that particular service sector. And I know that a lot of people still love the brand. But if you don't keep up with today's customers, if you don't regenerate a new type of customer to go into those stores, it doesn't matter if you've got 50 stores, 100 or 250, you've got a challenge. You've got a challenge with what you stand for, what your brand stands for in the marketplace and the cut through. So, yes, I understand you need to cut costs to keep the business going. You need, you need the profit in the business, you need the investment, you need the lifeblood, you need to regenerate the stores so they stand for something. But you've also got to make sure that you have curb appeal to your retail audience, be that online or offline. It's got to be there. And my question is, 20 years ago, they did quite a brilliant intuitive thing with designs at Debenhams,
yes,
which, for those who don't know, allowed very designer names to be affordable to
Oswald
all.
Boateng and the likes of that. You could buy their suits in Debenhams, and I did.
For sure. And, you know, they did it in such a respectful way that it wasn't a case at all of, look, here's a discounted product. It was very much, here's a value product,
yes,
but you're getting it from these brands. Did they regenerate those names quickly enough? Who knows? But what I can tell you is that strategy actually still works today for very current fashion brands. So ASOS have the same strategy.
Yep.
They will work with designer partners and do a small range, compact range, and make it affordable. Ditto H&M, who just partnered with Balmain recently.
Yep.
You know, this is a strategy that they delivered and developed, and they didn't actually even keep up with that. So we can't just look at it. I'm a realist, and as you can hear,
I can tell.
And I can't just look at this and go, look, this is just a sad set of affairs, it's retail. You've got to say, look, is there enough here to keep this business going?
Okay, here's Kevin.
Kate, what exactly is it that Primark is doing right that nearly everyone else seems to be doing wrong?
Look, they have a desirable offer in the marketplace, and it's a little similar to Aldi and Lidl in that they've not gone out to the consumer and said, look, you can't afford very much, here's cheap things. They've been respectful to the customer and said, here's a lot of good value stuff that you want at a price that you can afford it at, and we're going to try and make it the most decent quality. Yes, it is disposable fashion, but if you look actually at what they're doing this Christmas, they've done a huge partnership with Disney. Now, Disney is a brand that's got wide appeal, and it actually has very top-end stuff being sold in Harrods. It's got its own Disney stores in the marketplace, and yet it's got Primark bespoke product. And they will absolutely clean up this Christmas because that's giving accessibility to a brand that maybe others can't afford or they can't afford as much of. So it's about actually understanding the consumer and selling in a respectful way of what they want, when they want it, and how they want it. And they're prepared to queue out the doors for it.
Two very quick questions. First question, will Debenhams be around in 10 years' time?
Well, I asked them that. They said yes.
They said yes. The second question is more of an observation, really, Kate. You ever had any ambitions to go into politics?
I've been asked a few times.
Well,
there's a vacancy going at number 10 Downing Street.
Quite frankly, what a clear, intuitive, easy to follow, comprehensive explanation of a very difficult time for our high streets, very difficult time for Debenhams. But I mean, you just delivered it perfectly, and quite frankly, no one has done that good a job on Brexit. Just thinking, if you had any spare time, I think Kevin's right. Get you to number 10.
Yeah, exactly.
My word.
Well, at the very least, get hired by Debenhams.
Well, I appreciate that, you two, from being both experts at what you do. I'm just incredibly passionate. I've done this for 22 years, and there is a future. It can't be the same. It can't be as big. But what we need is some people making sensible decisions. And if you want me to come on and talk about how we do that through, parking and toilets in towns and city centres again, then I'm more than happy to do so. But I am fully the party of common sense. So if that's a party in the offering, then that's me.
Kate, I'm going to get my people to talk to your people. We're going to make this happen. Until then, Kate Hardcastle, retail analyst, thank you. She didn't have to do a good job there of breaking down some of the sort of the false things we're fed. You know, as soon as she said Primark, not online.
Exactly. I didn't realise that. By the way, we must get her in.
Yeah, I thought you actually got your clothes from Primark from the way they hang off you in threads and holes in them. And
thank you very much, Beau Brummel. Yeah, the day I take